If you're watching this right now, I know exactly where you're at. This isn't the first video you've watched on how to overcome lust, but all the other ones have been confusing. You've heard 20 different systems to implement to truly overcome it, but none of them have worked. You haven't been able to stay consistent with any of them. They all sound good in principle, but when you actually try to apply them, they don't seem to work for you. So in this video, I'll be giving you practical steps that you can follow to actually overcome your struggles with lust this year. I want you to know this isn't going to be an overnight fix. Everyone that promises that there's this one simple way you have to think about it, that you'll never have the issue again the next day, all of that is just not true for 99.9% of people. Maybe it worked for them, that's great. It's most likely not going to work for you. So I'm not going to be giving you exact steps, but I'm going to be giving you principles you need to follow. You don't lack the discipline that it takes to get over this. You lack a true system that is simple to follow. I've been there, desperately watching so many videos on how to overcome it, and none of them seeming to actually help. Every time I'd mess up, it'd spiral into this trap of shame and guilt where it'd get worse and worse until one day when there was a breaking point where I finally tried to make it better, but it would never last. This journal is basically full of days where I would rant about how upset I was about where I was at, but nothing changed for multiple years until I dove deeper into the root causes and the faith behind it and figured out how to overcome it one day at a time. All right, so the first thing you need to understand is willpower in the moment versus structure before the moment. You have systems set up that make it super easy to fall into that temptation every night. And it's not that you lost the battle at midnight, you actually lost it at 2 p.m. when the spiral started without you even realizing it. So at nighttime, your willpower is depleted from a whole day of hard work and making difficult decisions. And so at night, your body's programmed to succumb to its desires without resisting. And if you don't have systems preventing this and making this difficult, then that's where your brain is going to go, to that lust trap. So the first step to removing lust from your life is just the simple stuff that I'm sure you've heard before in videos. Put your phone in a different room when you sleep. Put on parental controls or apps that keep you from falling into that lust. It's simple and probably one of the biggest, most effective steps you can take. That way it becomes more difficult when your willpower is depleted late at night and you don't have the motivation to do the extra work to fall to it again. Second, this isn't just a sin issue, it's a system issue. Yes, it is spiritual, but it's also behavioral. You ultimately can't pray your way out of something that you keep feeding every single day. Lust thrives in isolation, in boredom, in constant stimulation, and in a lack of purpose. If you keep your lifestyle the same, your results are going to stay the same. So you have to cut out all of that stuff. And it doesn't necessarily have to be completely cut out, but for me, I found out I had to completely cut it out for a short period of time. I would find that social media would trigger the spiral into it. I don't have to go into depth with that. I'm sure you know what I mean. And so I cut out social media to eliminate that trap that would cause me to spiral. And going off of this, step 3, cutting off access. Matthew 5:29 says, if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off. It's the same way. If your phone causes you to sin, cut off everything on your phone that causes you to sin. If it's a group you're around, then you do have to cut off that group. And it's more important that you are healthy spiritually than having a good relationship with a friend that maybe might not be a good influence on you. So stop trying to be strong and just resisting it because you can't do it on your own. Cut out the root and cut it off at the source. All right, next step 4 is building structure in your day. Lust ultimately fills empty space. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. And so when you're bored, when you're not chasing something, when you're not structured, that's automatically where your mind's going to go because that's what it's craving. And if you don't have systems set up to resist that, then you're going to fall into it. So what I've done for myself is planning every half hour of my day so that I don't have any extra time. Here's my example for today. As you can see, it's completely filled out and there's no space in here for me to do anything from the time that I wake up to the time that I go to bed. I'll link that down in the description for you if you'd like to use the exact same planner. Going off of this, you have to have something that you're working towards every day that you know that falling to the lust would keep you from achieving. For me, that was this business, this coaching business that I've started. Before this, I was lacking direction and motivation to stop doing anything bad because I was just kind of wandering and not pursuing anything. But as soon as I started pursuing this, I knew I needed to practice what I preach, and I was enthusiastic and knew what I needed to be working on every hour of the day. And so that made it 10 times easier to resist. Number 5 is control your environment, not just your mind. This is because your brain follows what it sees all day. So as you can tell by now, a lot of these have the similar theme of cutting off whatever causes you to sin. So stop consuming all the sexualized content on Instagram, on TikTok, anything like that. Even if it's not something that's going to directly cause you to sin, indirectly, it's going to cause you to spiral and go down that rabbit hole. So you need to fix your inputs and start feeding yourself with godly music instead of secular music, with educational podcasts instead of maybe comedy podcasts that are going to have raunchy remarks in it, and replace like the scrolling with productive content like watching long form videos on something you're interested in or something you're chasing. You don't have the willpower, no matter how much you think you do, to rise above your inputs. You have to cut them off and change your inputs for more fulfilling, God-honoring ones. Number 6 is accountability. And this is huge. Part of why you're losing is because no one knows. You don't have any motivation to change because nobody knows, so it doesn't seem like a problem to anyone but you. So if you can find one guy, one friend that's on the same mission as you, or one mentor, check in with them weekly or every day if you have to. Be honest. Don't fake the I'm good if you're really not. If you're struggling, tell them. They're not going to judge you. If they really care, they're going to help you. James 5:16 says basically that the confession breaks the isolation. It shifts it from you fighting the battle completely on your own to bringing in another person to help you fight it. And it really does make such a big difference. So the key point here, sin grows in secrecy and it dies when it gets exposed. Number 7 is replacing the habit and not just removing it. This is a big thing. If it's a habit that you have, every night, most likely, it's not going to be enough to just stop doing it. You have to replace it. For me, when I started reading, I have dozens of books I've read over the past year that prevented me because I would pick it up, I'd get interested in it, get my mind off everything else, and it'd be something that is truly fulfilling me and helping me learn about something I care about. So when the urges hit, you can go train, you can go for a walk. Like me, you can read if it's at night. You can take a cold shower if it's earlier in the day. I wouldn't recommend that before bed because it's going to harm your sleep, but that's going to kind of reset your dopamine levels. Or just work on something meaningful. If you're working on a project and it creeps in, it's not this easy, but you can try to say every time, nope, not going to fall for it. I'm going to go work on that project. You don't need less desire in your life. You just need your desire to be redirected to fulfilling things. Step 8 is shifting your identity. This is a big part too. You're not just a guy who's trying to quit lust. You're a man of discipline. 1 Corinthians 9:27 talks about disciplining your body and it directly impacting your faith. You're called to self-control, not slavery to impulses. Act like the man you say you want to become. Going off this, at some point you just have to tell yourself, like, there's not going to be one specific thing that really cuts it off. You're just going to honestly have to say, just stop being a baby about it. Have some self-respect and do it because you know you need to. It really is that simple at some level. If nothing else is working, you just have to say, when is it going to stop? I got to stop waiting for that one thing that's going to fix it. It's just, you got to start today, period. Number 9 is expecting failure. Not accepting it, but expecting it. You have to accept that you might mess up again. You probably will. There's 99% chance that you will. It's just the difference is if you're telling yourself you're never going to mess up again, when you do, you're going to feel a ton of shame, and that's going to spiral into going back to the habit because of the negative emotions wanting you to escape to something that feels good. But if you're expecting yourself to mess up, when you do, you're like, okay, I did, that's not good, but it happened, it's in the past, now we reset, and now we keep working to grow better. So I really hope this helped you. Accountability was the biggest thing that changed for me. I've probably said there were a couple things that were the biggest thing, but truly the accountability was what changed. And if you're having a hard time finding brothers that truly want to hold you accountable, I do offer a coaching program where lust is a huge part of it. I help men get into the best shape of their lives, prevent injuries, while addressing the mindset behind lust, behind any struggles that you may have, and ultimately helping you root your identity in Christ rather than worldly things. If this video impacted you and you want to take the next steps to truly change and have someone holding you accountable, you can book a call below and we can talk through the next steps in this process. And remember, this isn't all about lust. It's about whether you are in control or your impulses are. I hope this helped. Be sure to like and subscribe. I'll continue to post more videos for men that are going to be similar topics, just practical, applicable things to grow a bulletproof mind and body.